Welcome to another Fast Tech video. In this one, I'm going to be showing you how to fix your PS5 if it does not turn on. In most cases, this problem is caused by a bad power supply, which I'm going to be showing you how to replace. In a previous video, I showed you how to do this on a launch 1000 series PS5. So if you have one of those, check out my other video on this channel. You can check your model number here. And make sure you do that because there are 3 different versions of the fat PS5 and the power supplies are not interchangeable. The 1200 series was the last of the fat PS5s before Sony moved on to the PS5 Slim, which I'll cover in a later video. If you bought your console as a Ragnarok bundle, you have a 1200 series PS5. Before we start, please go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. FastTechStore.com offers fast repair service, and we stock all kinds of parts for PS5, from fans to power supplies to case parts to motherboards and much more. All parts from FastTechStore.com include a lifetime warranty and free worldwide shipping. Use coupon code YouTube for a discount. Please note that if you have a PS5 that beeps when you press the power button or goes blue light, then beeps and turns off, that's most likely not caused by a bad power supply and is instead a motherboard issue. This video only applies to PS5s that do not respond at all when you press the power button, meaning there's no beep and no sound, and the system does not power on. To make sure this video is right for you, check the model number before starting. You can check it here and it should say CFI-1215. If you have a 1200 or 1216, you're also good to go. The most important thing are the first 2 numbers. Let's pull on this cover from the corner here. We're going to need a special T9H bit, which is included in our FastTech Pro Auto Kit. Check the links in the description box and the pinned comment. There's normally a sticker here, which is the warranty sticker, which has already been removed. First, let's hook up a Phillips bit to get this Phillips screw out of the way, which is for the SSD cover. Let's get this piece off. Now we must pull up on this piece of trim. Comes off very easily. Now let's remove this sticker, which hides the fan connector underneath. Now let's pull up on the fan connector. I like to grab all the wires at the same time and lift up. Now we're going to hook up a T9H bit and remove these 4 screws that hold the fan in. With those screws gone, we can lift up the fan. Now there's a bunch of Torx T9H screws, all different lengths and sizes that we have to remove. But have no fear, Shiroz is here, as I will be showing you where each screw goes back in later in the video. If you're interested in buying this screwdriver, you can check us out at FastTechStore.com. You can also leave these screws in the case, as I will in this video, but in case you don't, I will show you where each one goes back in. If you have a disc edition PS5, you're going to have to remove the disk drive. We're going to push down on this clip and pull out this data ribbon cable like so. Now we have to remove the power cable for the disk drive, and we can do that by grabbing all the wires and lifting up. Much safer than pulling it out with the connector. Now that we got the disk drive out of the way, we're going to flip the console over, but be careful not to damage this heatsink. We're going to pull on this corner and the cover should come off. Now we're going to remove this T9H bolt here and this one here. Now let's flip the console over and let's remove this T9H screw here and this T9H bolt here. Now we're going to remove these T9H screws at the front. Removing these screws will give us access to the USB ribbon cable that we need to remove to get to the power supply. Now let's remove this ribbon cable by pulling it out, and these antenna cables lift up. Once those cables are removed from the motherboard, we're going to get them out of the way. Now let's remove this ribbon cable and lift up this plate. Now we're going to push down on this clip here and remove this cable like so. Now we should be able to lift up the motherboard and power supply assembly. In some cases the power supply will stay in the case, But either way, you should have access to the power supply and you should be able to pull it off the motherboard like so. This right here is the power supply, and this is what causes your PS5 to not turn on. For the 1200 series, the power supply you need is an ADP400FR. If you order one from fasttechstore.com, it comes with a lifetime warranty. There are 3 different versions of the Fat PS5, so check your model number before ordering, as they are not interchangeable. When replacing your power supply, you are going to have to transfer over this antenna, and you can do so by pushing down on this plastic tab here and lifting out the antenna as demonstrated here. We have to transfer this antenna over to our new power supply. Before we replace the power supply, let's take a closer look at it. This unit converts AC electricity into DC, and it will blow during a power surge. So to protect yourself from that, head over to fasttechstore.com and pick one up with a lifetime warranty and free worldwide shipping. Check the links in the description box and the pinned comment. And use coupon code YouTube for a discount. Now let's transfer that antenna over to our new power supply from fasttechstore.com. We need to tuck these wires through as demonstrated here. Now let's install the power supply in the case like so. Make sure these ribbon cables at the front don't get in the way. Now we can install the motherboard assembly, making sure the antenna cables at the left and at the front don't get caught underneath. Now let's route these cables like so, and then we're going to put these antenna cables through here as they were before. The antenna cables simply go on by lining them up on top of the connector and pushing down. The ribbon cable you can simply push down all the way till the blue line. These antenna cables tuck in here. This cable at the front for the on-off button pushes in. For this one you have to push down this part of the clip and then push the cable in. Now let's install this cover and then the T9/8 screws that hold it on. If you value your time, you should seriously consider picking up a Fasttech Pro Auto kit, as it will save you a lot of time when doing assemblies and disassemblies. So this bolt and this screw with a plastic thread, they go at the front. The long one goes in here. And the short one goes in here. Now let's flip it over. And on this side, we got the 2 machine screws that are equal in length and size. They go here and here. We must install these 2 cables back in, the flat ribbon cable, which is for data, and the power cable. This one can go in by pushing down on this clip and pushing the cable in. Now for the power cable. There's a gray wire which is going to be on the left side. Make sure you put it in correctly, because if you do not, you can blow the circuit board on your PS5. Now let's install this cover back on, and I've left the screws in, but in case you took out yours, I'll show you where each one goes in, because we show details that other channels don't. This one here, which is a plastic screw, goes here. An identical screw goes right next to it here. This one, which is a machine screw, goes in here. This one, long plastic screw, goes in the corner here. This silver one goes in here. This long plastic screw, just like the one on top, goes here. This machine screw goes in here. And there's one screw that's a plastic screw, similar in size but different, goes in here. This plastic screw goes in here, and this plastic screw goes in here. Now it's time to install the fan, and let's route this cable through here and install the connector like so. This also only goes in one way, so make sure you don't screw it up. This piece goes on top of the fan, and now it's time to install the screws. This is where each screw goes in. These 2 on the right are identical machine screws, equal in size, and this one here is the shortest. goes here, and the longest one goes here. Now let's install this grate. The corners go in first, and then you can push it down. Now let's install the SSD cover and the Phillips screw that holds it on. Now let's install the square cover for the fan connector. And now we should be able to install this cover back on. Same on the other side. Now the console's ready for testing. But before we test it, I'd like to remind everybody to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel because that helps us out more than you know, and it costs you nothing. FastTechStore.com carries all PS5 parts, and we include a lifetime warranty and free worldwide shipping. Check the links in the description box and the pinned comment, and you can use the coupon code YouTube for a discount. We are also bringing back repair services by popular demand if you don't want to do this yourself. Now let's press that power button, and the PS5 is working. That's another successful repair from Fast Tech. If this video helped you out in any way, shape, or form, please be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. We got this message that says the PS5 wasn't turned off properly. This is completely normal if you replaced a blown power supply. And that concludes our video. This is Shiroz from Fast Tech signing out, and I'll see you in the next one.